Hi there. Welcome to a series of videos offered by the School of Architecture, Planning and Landscape, or SAPL for short. My name is Sarah, and I'm the Undergraduate Program Specialist at SAPL. This is part 2 of SAPL Undergraduate's registration tutorial video series. In this video, I'll be covering when to register and the timing associated with this process. We'll first be looking at the general registration timeframe. Then, we'll examine the details around the enrollment start time. After, I'll share some registration resources you can look into prior to your enrollment start time. Something to keep in mind, though, is that Part 3 and the registration resources videos of the BDCI video series goes into these resources into more detail. Finally, I'll briefly cover what to look into after you've enrolled into your courses. As shared in the last video, the steps leading up to your course registration involves first, determining the enrollment start time, also known as the EST. Then, consulting various resources, such as this video series, to put together a plan of what to register for and how. And finally, registering for all your classes, ideally right at your enrollment start time. Please keep in mind that before your official enrollment start time, you cannot enroll into classes, but you can enroll anytime at or after this enrollment start time. We always recommend enrolling right at your start time because courses fill up quickly. You can always change your schedule after you register into your first pick of classes. In the meantime, however, you can look at course offerings and information beforehand and create your schedule in advance so you have it all ready to go for your enrollment start time. With the previous information in mind, your overall registration process should look like the following. So, prior to your enrollment start time, you figured out what courses to register in, loaded your shopping cart, and then validated your choices. At your enrollment start time, you enroll all the courses sitting in your shopping cart. Remember to enroll in both fall and winter. And after your initial enrollment, you want to review your enrollment and check for any issues. This is also the time to reach out for program advising support for troubleshooting and/or spend some time reviewing what you have and discussing any changes to your fall and winter schedules. Remember, don't tailor your courses first. Tailor after successfully enrolling into everything you're recommended to take first. To register or enroll into classes, your first priority is to figure out when you can do this. At UCalgary, we refer to the term enrollment start time, or EST for short, which is the date and time that you can begin registering. Your EST can be found on your Student Center under the section titled Your Enrollment Start Time, as shown by the blue arrow. You can use the QR code on the right to log into your Student Center. Before you jump into any course registration specifics, and even after determining your enrollment start time, you'll need to first complete your registration initialization before you can register, which you may need to do annually. You'll need to log into your Student Center, and on the main page or Home tab, you want to scroll down to the registration initialization message, click here, and then follow the prompts. The QR code on the right will take you to the step-by-step instructions on how to do it if you need a reference. You'll be referring to your Student Center a lot while at U of C, and many things can be done from this page. Check out the link on the left to learn more about all the features on your Student Center. If you're curious about how the enrollment start times are determined for each group of students, check out the QR code on the right. Part 3 of this video series will discuss more in detail about the various registration resources that you can use while preparing for your enrollment start time. For now, I'll briefly introduce you to a few places to check out after determining your enrollment start time. Every year, usually sometime in March, SAPL will host a registration webinar for incoming students. Use the QR code on the right to view the information for each faculty and the resources they have organized for incoming student registration. For SAPL, you'll either find an event link or a link to the recording if the event has passed. If there's still time, don't forget to register for the upcoming registration webinar. Another resource you can keep an eye on is the new Student Registration Assistance, or NSRA for short. This service usually opens up around May of each year for incoming students to book appointments. It can definitely be overwhelming as an incoming student to pick up various new systems and steps while following the registration process. For this reason, the NSRA was established to provide additional student support. NSRAs are student leaders who work with students one-on-one to put together the first-year schedule for any of our undergrad programs at U of C. It's really helpful because these student leaders have a lot of registration experience and can share more tips and tricks that they've picked up along the way. The QR code on the right will direct you to the NSRA webpage, which will have more information and resources, plus a link to make an appointment with them, which will be available once the service is open. I highly recommend that all of you book an appointment with NSRA at your enrollment start time or soon after your EST. You won't be able to register until the EST, so it's best to book with NSRA once you can enroll in courses so you can troubleshoot with them at the same time. Before you can officially enroll into classes, the courses you select will be added to something called the shopping cart. There's a really cool feature where students can validate their shopping cart selections before their enrollment start time to check for potential enrollment errors. These errors include time conflicts, unfulfilled prerequisites or co-requisites, missing departmental consent, anti-requisites, and more. This feature helps you to check for issues prior to enrollment start time and gives the opportunity to address those issues earlier. Shopping cart validation will be active usually during the first week of January for the spring and summer terms and the first week of March for the fall and winter terms. Validation can be done in the Student Center as well as in Schedule Builder, depending on which system you choose. These systems will be discussed in more detail in Part 3 of the video series. On the left, you'll find a link for more information about the shopping cart validation feature. In the middle, you'll find a link to instructions on how to validate your shopping cart via Schedule Builder. And on the right, you'll find a link to instructions on how to validate your shopping cart via your Student Center. It's important to always double check that you've successfully registered into all of your courses. One common error that some students make is they leave their courses in their shopping cart and forget to complete the final enrollment step. If you still have courses sitting in this area, it's not yet enrolled. So when you're checking, and if your planned courses are sitting in this area, make sure you go through the enrollment process and then check at the enrollment courses section. Make sure that everything you plan on taking is already listed under there. This screenshot shows that the student has successfully enrolled into 5 courses for this semester, with none sitting in their shopping cart. Make sure you're also checking all relevant semesters. So click on the semester tab at the top and check both your fall and winter semester enrollment. If you've completed all the steps but are still encountering issues, such as continued errors even after enrolling and working with NSRA, the next best step is to connect with a SAPL advisor for further troubleshooting. This is best done after your enrollment start time, but should be soon after so that you're not waiting until August or even September to address any registration issues that you discovered in April or May. The QR code takes you to BDCI's program advising page on how to connect with BDCI advisors, such as myself, the Undergraduate Program Specialist, for assistance. As a BDCI student, if you're not sure who to talk to first, please don't hesitate to connect with me first, and I can always refer you to the right office after. This takes us to the end of this video. Part 3 of this video will go into what you register for and how to register into your BDCI courses. The icons I've used in the presentation were from flaticon.com, and I've noted the various authors here under the credits. Thank you for your time, and see you in the next video.